and freaking.
There we are. Sorry, Keith. I had us all
And
muted
twerking,
for some
I guess.
reason.
Yeah. I think we are finally here. So welcome to our first century of subscribers live stream.
Yep.
Thanks for coming today. We got some stuff
Keith.
planned for today. Oh yeah,
I'm Dell.
Right. He's Dell. I'm Keith. We're Renjeaux. We listen to cool albums normally, but today we're not going to listen to an album. We're doing a live stream. We're on live with you guys, and we got some stuff planned for today. We want to talk a little bit about who we are, maybe a little bit about where we came from. If there are any live people with us today, please write in the chat, and we'll see if anybody is.
Hey, Keith, are you seeing us?
Bored? Yeah. Yep. We are live.
I'm not, so that's good. All right.
Okay. No worries. We're all good. So Dell is the video controller. He's our broadcast booth.
For some reason.
And I'm kind of sort of the host, but we're co-hosts, of course. We're gonna listen to maybe the Renjeaux theme song, the original recording from way back in 1983 or so. I think we'll just take a look, and maybe another cool track that we composed back in the day. We also have cake, right? So Dell's got a cheesecake there with
we have cake. Yes, we have cake. Hang on, Keith. We gotta do this right.
Dell's got the
candles.
Dell's got the candles, and I've just got a big old slice of my favorite cake places, vanilla cream cake here. So let's see what Dell's gonna.
See how this shows
hopefully, he doesn't set his house on fire.
Yay!
Oh my God!
Come on! Stay up. There we go. The century mark there. So Ooh. I think we're officially up to like 104 subscribers right now. So anyway, thanks for blowing those out, Dell. Did you make a wish? I just wish that this would go right for some reason. That's about it.
Well, I'm wishing for 100,000 subscribers. Is what
yeah.
So. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? When we get 100,000 subscribers.
What lifetime is that going to be in?
Well, hopefully.
I mean, I know reincarnation and everything may make that possible.
Well, and also I think, but hopefully before I die, we'll have the ability to download ourselves into a virtual presence, and we can be placed into android bodies or something. Or I don't know, who knows, whatever. And we have a raffle. I have a CD coming today that we want to raffle off, and then we'll talk about maybe some future albums as well that we're planning on listening to. Since we don't have anybody live with us right now. If we do, they're not chatting. I guess the raffle's going to be a really easy one. But Del,
are you and I going to fight over it, Keith?
Well, no, because it's here in my house right now. And, well, it will be. It's going to be delivered any moment, I think. So Del, I don't know. Do you want to say a little bit about yourself and what's your story? Where you from? Why are you here? What do you hope to be in the future?
Future, I'm trying to lay off as much as possible because I'm having a hard time with next month. I'll put it that way. Well, actually, as far as I'm concerned, this all started because I was looking into the past, and I was going, well, I was watching a lot of YouTubers out there, and I was going, man, I wish they would do this album. Man, I wish they'd do that album. And then I was thinking, screw it, let's do this album. So I thought, I'll just start talking about these albums I really like. And I thought, well, I spent most of my time digging these albums with my oldest and best friend, Keith. So I called you up one day and said, hey, back in the day,
I got this idea.
We listened to a lot of these albums that I really think are really cool. And what if we just did a YouTube show just talking about these albums? So we said, what the hell?
Let's do
the
it. Idea.
We just said yes and started, which that's always my hardest thing to do, is just to say, let's do it.
Something started. Yeah.
So.
Well, I love that. Well, okay, so that's kind of the story of how this show started. It was really your idea, right? And you called me up and and said, "Hey, I got this idea."
That's what I kind of was. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of talking about now. As far as you and I, we can get into that a little bit at a time because it goes way back. It could take a while to talk about it, or it could take 5 minutes. Depends on how you look at it. But
well, we do have a.
We started. We met in high school.
Well, we actually have been together. Well, we met in like 3rd grade or something.
4th grade when I moved to Portland. Yeah, I moved there in Portland to Portland in 4th grade. Yeah, and Portland, that's Texas, where we met. But we didn't really hang around each other until we were in high school choir.
Right.
Yeah,
we were in choir together. High school.
We were both tenors, and we sang in the same
we sang
section.
in a quartet.
Right. Well, yeah, that was a little later. But we started out singing tenors.
That's right. That's right. Before your voice.
Before my voice changed, and your voice still hasn't changed.
And my voice never changed. Exactly.
And after my voice changed, we were actually sang with another tenor and another bass, and I sang baritone.
Bass, right?
And you sang
second tenor, first tenor, I guess. In
a quartet.
Brian and Brian.
But and through our friends and everything, we just started listening to music a lot. The typical things from the late 70s, early 80s, Styx, Boston. A lot of people were listening to Zeppelin, Journey, Van Halen, rest in peace, Eddie.
Rush.
We got into Rush.
Genesis.
Asia. We started getting into things.
A little later.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And the Cars.
Well, we joined that. We realized that we had close enough musical taste that we joined the CBS record club, right? And we each did it was a huge thing in the 70s, 10 albums for a penny, and then you were committed to buying 10 more over the course of a year or two or something like that. And so we both kind of went in together and said, okay, which 10 will you get and which 10 will I get? And we, together we got 20 albums for 2 pennies, and then we were off to the races,
Yep.
We were freaking hooked. So thank goodness for the Columbia Music Record Club. It was a life-changing thing for us, and now it kind of led to this.
Yes, it did. Yeah. It did. I kind of sorry, I'm actually seeing us now. I'm watching. Oh my God, there we are, Keith. We're live. I see us now. I finally got us up there. Now I'm starting to feel like Andy Partridge.
So. The stage fright. Yeah. Well, we're over there. I'm not paying attention to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
So, kind of my story was really kind of started when I bought my sister was in high school band and was raising money for some trip or something, and they were selling music, cassettes and records and 8-tracks, and she had a stereo that had an 8-track player. So she's like, do you want to buy something? And I was like, oh yeah. Well, I had heard Come Sail Away on the radio and thought it was awesome. So I bought Styx Grand Illusion on 8-track, and I would go in when that thing came in. I remember I was so excited. I popped it in her 8-track player, laid down on her bed, put on her headphones, and boom, man, my head exploded and my life was changed forever. I was just transported into another universe, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And so that got me hooked on music. And then, I was really happy to have met Del and to have learned that we had very similar musical tastes. And together we just, we were like listening to freaking everything that we could. And then luckily I got a job in a record store out
Yes.
of high school, out of my
Yes.
first year of college.
That was the
right?
streamline.
The record bar in the Sunrise Mall. My cousin
Yep.
Robert got me the job there, and I have some lifelong friends still, mainly Diana, who she was my manager at the time. Anyway, but yeah, that was, I got music for the cost of the record instead of at retail, and man, started getting into CDs, and so yeah, before long I had, we hundreds of records and CDs and stuff, and between the both of us,
So
probably
the
over
record bar, you actually had to buy the albums, right?
Yeah, I had to buy them but I got them for the for
Right.
cost,
Right.
wholesale or whatever,
Because we used to listen. I don't know if I helped you invest in that or not. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I'm trying to remember how we did that at first, because we listened to a lot of things.
Oh my God.
Listened to
Well, I
tons of
mean, I
stuff.
could. Well, and being an employee at a record store, you can just open any album you want,
Right.
and put it on the store record player,
Right.
because you're selling records. You want people to hear it. So that's how I would. I'd be at work listening to all this cool new music, and it was just like, oh my God, have you heard this and have you heard that? And, yeah. Oh my God. So,
That sounds like a movie.
yeah, that was like that movie with John Cusack, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name of it.
Jack Black.
Yep.
Jack Black. Yeah. Can't remember the name of it now.
But no,
Yeah.
that we listened to a lot of music, and then we
started making music.
Yeah, well, I always go back to when we had a friend who was in our quartet, played music, played bass and guitar and things like that, and I guess it was after we graduated or something, like the timeline's never right with me, but he was playing with a band, and that band had a keyboard player. Yeah. And that keyboard player had a Moog Opus 3. And
oh, really?
He was selling it, and I bought it from him. And that's how I got the Moog with the case included, which was a great thing.
A really nice, hard, air flight case, man.
Right.
Just hard, felt like a rock, man.
So we had an Opus 3. You got...
That was our first synthesizer.
What? You got a dramatic...
I got the little Roland... the Roland Dramatics, the TR-606.
Right.
Little rhythm composer. And then I got also a Roland Digital Delay, the little SDE 1000. And then we got a 4-track.
Well, no, hang on. We used to go cassette. We used to go cassette. We had a mixer, and we'd go cassette to cassette.
A little realistic mixer from Radio Shack. Radio Shack was our friend, man, back in those days.
But remember, we'd go cassette to cassette. We'd have 2 cassette decks.
Yeah, that's how we would ever.
I brought mine over, and you had yours, and we would go back and forth, cassette to cassette.
Yeah, and
which was noisy as hell.
Yep. Yeah.
And then we invested. Their big investment was the 4-track. That was the big investment.
Tascam, at Tascam
404.
Black Porta Studio, Porta 01.
Oh, that one.
Black plastic.
Oh, I was thinking about the reel-to-reel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, the reel-to-reel was first. Yes, because we got that open reel deck from that rock and roll band you played with.
Right.
Yeah, that dude, the singer, or the guitar player, or bass player, whoever he was,
right?
Whose house that you guys practiced at, he was selling that, and we bought that thing from him. Yeah, and then that's when we started,
right,
with our quality productions. And
I still remember the day going to Sound Vibrations and getting a noise reduction unit.
Oh, that's right.
After a while, I was like, okay, now I understand the tape hiss problem.
Overdub.
Now everyone's trying to bring more tape sound into their sound.
Well, we have an old recording. I would like to hear. Can you play "In Love" for us? This is one of the first things that we did. It was a Moog Opus 3 that Del was playing, a cool string patch.
And that melody we use on the theme now.
This is our Renjeaux listens to cool albums theme. Right. Yeah. But this is all processed. It's run directly through a realistic little, not even a spring reverb, but like a little electronic reverb delay unit. It had some sliders on it. This big had like 4 sliders on it, and I was playing that thing, and while you were playing the Opus. And that gives us the real kind of detuned, the warbling sound. And I thought together that sound was just, we were just, I don't know, I was taken with it. I was just like, oh, wow. And so for some reason, I guess at some point we listened to that open reel recording at half speed because it had a dual speed. And we really liked this sound too.
We were tripping on this.
We were essentially, this was our mushrooms at the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you slightly tweaked that realistic, just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Almost like,
and it would just detune and echo, and I mean, it really gave it some sweet character. And this kind of sort of became a one of our practices where Del would kind of play these melodies and chords and stuff on the keyboards, and then I would play the effects and stuff.
The other week when we were doing OMD, it kind of reminded me of that when I was watching a video where McCluskey was saying that Paul Humphreys would play something and Andrew would sit there and go, oh yeah, play that, and then they'd record it and then do stuff with that and all that kind of thing. It kind of reminded me of that.
Exactly.
That type of interaction.
Yeah, that kind of partnership. Yeah, where there was a melody and some sounds going on, some effects, some tweaking, kind of an Eno thing, where Eno, was one of his deals was that he would process. He used to call. I think he would get credited on Roxy Music albums for like processing, So, so that was a cool one. And then for some reason we went back and we were like, okay, well it sounds cool at normal speed too. So kind of went back and forth there. So I was thinking maybe play a little bit of. But maybe I was thinking, this is one where Del did the pitch wheel, and then I went crazy on the sliders of that little reverb unit.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then right back to the melody, but you're doing the so it's getting more intense.
We were jamming live, man.
It was a performance, man. It was a performance, and these days everything is sequenced, in the computer, and a lot of this kind of live improvisational stuff is it's a little harder to find, I think, sometimes these days.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was thinking maybe we could eat some cake. I haven't had any cake.
I was already eating cake. Golly.
You were eating cake? What? Really? Okay, I'm gonna have a bite of cake. Sorry.
I don't see where anyone has joined us, Keith. Do you? It's just you and me on an island.
Viewers right now.
Oh, there are. Okay.
So if anybody's there wants to chat, just say
hi. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, nice to hear from you. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, we don't want to waste your time.
Well, okay. But, so Keith,
what about?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was talking about some future albums we might be doing, what we're planning on doing, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I was looking.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a slate. We have a plan. We have planned out for the next couple of months here already.
Yeah. We're kind of Keith and I graduated in '82, so my theory is that when you graduated from high school
19.
or in college, there's an idea that, when you talk to someone who's at what's their favorite music, it may have a lot to do with that era of their life when they graduate from high school.
High school kind of.
And
Yeah.
all that. So a lot of the stuff we are really featuring right now are in that early 80s, late 70s period.
Yes.
But we've expanded, but so a lot of them are kind of centralized in that area. Like we have from that era, we have coming up more Ultravox, which was a huge influence on us.
Yep.
And
we got another Ultravox coming up.
And China Crisis, which we really liked. Split Ends, I see.
Split Ends.
Era. And Ice House. Yes.
Pink Floyd. The Wall was a huge influence.
See, I didn't really get into Floyd till later, because everyone in high school was into Floyd, and I think I was just being, anti-disestablishmentarian-ish thingy. I wasn't gonna listen. Everyone listens to Floyd. Everyone listens.
You weren't gonna sell out.
Right. Everyone listens to Zeppelin. Everyone listens to. It was mainly the two bands that in Van Halen and all that kind of stuff.
Triumph was a big one. Nazareth and
Well, Rush was the only band that a lot of people I know listened to that I went, well, screw it, I'm going to listen to these guys.
Well, you picked the right one, man. Right. To fold to,
Another band in here, 1979, it's coming up is a Talking Heads album.
Yes,
that's another.
That one took a while.
Right.
That one took a while for us to get into.
Well, yeah.
Well, it took a while for me to get into. Maybe you got into it sooner, but I'm
actually I feel like I
clicked
clicked into it, at least on the first half of it. But we do branch out. We got a Radiohead coming up. So there's stuff like, and we spent some time we were big Windham Hill fans at the time.
After I started working at the record store, at the record bar, we started getting into Windham Hill. I started working there in November of '83, and it was Christmas season, and so my coworkers were playing George Winston December, which either released that year or the year before, and that album changed my life because that's what got me into New Age,
right.
And made me realize that hey, this kind of ambient stuff that I like listening to, like in the middle of Come Sail Away, that's the synth kind of trip part, I was like, there's people that make music that's just that, and I was like, what? But of course, Windham Hill was acoustic. But Windham Hill was acoustic, but they did that kind of music with acoustic instruments,
right.
So I was like, oh my god, and so. Yeah, so we got another Windham Hill coming up here, a few weeks, so about a month, and then we got plans. We're not even into our favorite albums. These are we've had a couple of our favorite albums, but kind of what we're doing is we're kind of picking albums back and forth, and so it might be that he'll pick an album that's a little stronger than I had wanted, or I might pick an album that was a little stronger than he had wanted. But of course, we're always willing to. to do some strong albums.
I think it helps balance out our flow too. Like doing Bernice was pretty obscure.
Very obscure.
We need that in there too. Right.
The Bird and the Bee. Bird and the Bee was pretty obscure. Yeah. Right. Modern English was fairly obscure.
Right.
You know.
So we're gonna. Who knows where we're gonna be? On our maps, and we're skipping across. Like the Radiohead gets into the next millennium.
Yeah.
And we got some more coming along that lines in the last decade or two as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the problem with music nowadays. It's a great problem. Is that there's just so much of it.
Yeah, right? I'd love to spend more time on some modern things personally. I just don't have time.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I think kind of, the young people who are listening to music now, I'm really interested in what people, who are graduating from high school right now are listening to. I know a few years ago, 10 years ago now, probably, it was like Outkast was the huge thing. And TV on the radio was big, maybe 10 years ago, and and some of those things are pretty cool. I still don't think that some of that stuff is as cool as the stuff that we grew up with, but of course I would think that, right?
Well, hell, believe it or not, I have a Coldplay album I really like, so.
Right. Yeah, I've heard some cool Coldplay. So I do have. I'm looking at my years. I've got some albums, from the early 2000s. Not really anything in the. I mean, very few here in the 20 teens. And that's mainly because me and Del. We grew up listening to these things together back in the late 70s, early 80s, and mid 80s into the late 80s. But after that, we kind of split out and, went our own ways. And so that's kind of where we're sort of, okay, well, hey, I heard this cool one in 1995. Do you want to check it out? And so that's kind of what we're doing now is, Radiohead Kid A, I had never listened to before Del popped it in our list there. And so I've been listening to it, and it's a trip, man. So it's cool. It's cool to listen to new stuff, and so we appreciate you guys putting recommendations in our comments and stuff too. We got a list of those, right? A list of things that we can check out. Right. So,
where do you want to go with next, Keith?
So that's kind of I mean, I wanted to do a raffle, and so, but the only way that we could do a raffle is if anybody wants, if you want this, the CD is Kate Bush Aerial, because it's our most popular show right now.
Right.
It's going to be here today sometime. If anybody wants it, just.
Did you have a rule about subscribers on that?
Do you have to be a subscriber? Well, I don't even know if it's possible to know if people are subscribers or not. I mean, I just think if you want this CD, say something in the chat, and then I'll get in touch with you, and maybe via email or something, and you can send me your address if you want or whatever, and I can. And if you want, we could set it up. So I have a CD, but I could also set it up to where I could have it shipped. Have one shipped to you, so if whatever works. Okay. So anyway, it's a Kate Bush Aerial CD, a double CD. It's a great album. It was our second or third show. It's still our most popular show. Mm-hmm. It's huge. There's a huge Kate Bush community out there. And anyway, if you want it, put your name in there. And if more than one people say they do, don't even have to put a name. Just put anything. Say, hey, I'm interested in the Kate Bush CD or something. And then if more than one person says that, then I'll kind of just randomly pick one. And
just feel sorry for us and let us know that you actually are there.
Yeah, it would be nice to have some sort of feedback in the chat. So anyway, that's really, I don't know, man. I think that's kind of all I was wanting to say. It's, we're happy to be here. We're kind of making stuff up as we go along. It's been a fun project for me because I'm getting to practice. I'm learning how to use After Effects and Premiere and getting into doing the graphics and the visuals. Del, I know, is running the show. He's got OBS and he's got a remote controller and he's composing music.
Just gives me excuse to learn new stuff. Might as well, Keith. That's all I want to do is, hey, let's use what we got and figure if we do something, connect to people, or not to connect to people, just do something. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Right. And we are going to be, I think we're connecting with a lot of people. I am in the comments, so just keep leaving comments. We love hearing from you guys. And
maybe we'll do this again at 200. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this again at 200.
Maybe it'll become so quick that we get to 100,000 that we'll have to.
You can tell who the dreamer here, guys, right?
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Whatever. I am definitely a dreamer.
Well, should that be it for now? I guess.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah. We're signing off. Thanks for joining us, those of you who tuned in, and again, if you're interested in that Kate Bush CD, send us a message and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, he is Del.
And he is Keith.
And we are Renjeaux, and we listen to cool albums normally. With special occasions, we also eat cake. So, yeah. All right. We'll see you guys. We love you.
Bye-bye. All right.
I'm loving the world, aren't you?